Hi everyone. Today I am going to evaluate my Intro to Tech Adobe Express web page for accessibility. This is a class that meets quarterly, and they are with me for approximately 8 weeks, learning some graphic design before moving on to a new teacher with new content. Adobe Express has a lot of built-in accommodations, and I'm going to run through that with you. Now, when I looked at all these little buttons up here at the top, I didn't see any built-in buttons for accessibility, like was mentioned for some of the other programs that some of you may be using. So when I did a search for how do you check for accessibility with Adobe Express, it said it didn't have any built-ins, but you could export a PDF and then use Adobe Acrobat to check for accessibility. And so that's what I did. Here is my exported PDF of the web page. And when I hover over my images, it tells me the little descriptor that I actually have plugged into the web page, which I'll show you in a little bit. To search for accessibility, I go to all my tools and I have to scroll down. I need to view some more. Let me convert or scroll down some more, prepare for accessibility. And then I need to check for accessibility. I make sure all of these buttons are checked and I start checking. Here is my accessibility checker report. It tells me my document has 2 issues. Page content has 2 issues. And if I expand that down, some things have passed. My logical reading order needs a manual check. Some other items have passed. My color contrast needs a manual check. So let's see what my page issues are. Tagged content failed, element 1. Well, this is an itemized list, and formatting of lists is important because it's an accessibility guideline. It makes it more understandable and accessible, but I have an issue. Element 1 is the number, element 2 is the period, and all these other ones are just the numbers and the periods, numbers and the periods. Tagged annotations failed. So let's see what this is. Let me just expand that down. Element 1. This is a video that I have embedded into my web page. And I'm not really sure why. It tells me that it's a YouTube video thumbnail. And it also tells me, well, here's the web address for that. Okay, so I'll check on that. Element 2, that is just part of the Adobe Express closing, I guess. A lot of other items have passed. So let me actually get into my web page. Here we are. Intro to Tech, my class overview. There is a little gear down here. Right now I am in the building mode, and I can have text to say what my image is, and that's an accessibility guideline. It says that we should provide alternative text descriptions for images. Alt text is read by a screen reader, and it should adequately describe what is being displayed and why it's important. I just say it's Octorara logo. I probably need to go in and expand on what it is I have as descriptors. I'm not sure how much is too much, and I can't wait to view some of your presentations just to see what you may have in this little box. So let me just cancel that out, and I'm going to scroll down. Oh, before I scroll down, these up here are built-ins. And so this is a script design, and this is the only spot you will see script design. I cannot change it from script. If I try to click on it and adjust it, I can't. I can only type in something new. And same with this area. I can't change how it looks, and I only use it here. Every other place, I use block quote for my titles, because if I changed it to heading 2, that's all caps. All caps is not good because it's like you're yelling at someone. I don't want to be yelling at my students as they're looking through their syllabus. And if I went to script, a lot of people can't read script. Some of my substitutes can't read script. And so I go with block quote. With my text, I have bold, and then I just have regular text. When I click on it, it just gives me a couple options. Let me scroll on down. Here's another image. I could click on the little gear. It tells me what it is. Once again, I know I need to add some more text. Scrolling down. So scrolling, I feel, makes navigation easy for students. Here's my little scroll bar, and I could scroll up or down. It's designed clear and easy for them to navigate without getting lost. It's just scrolling up or scrolling down. Now here I come to a video. And a video is another good thing to add. This is embedded, but it failed. And it says I could watch it on YouTube, but I think what I'm going to do is hit this little plus sign and add a button. And the button will be another link that will take me to this video just in case this doesn't play. And I think on the button, I will type in what the actual YouTube link is so they could just copy it and paste it if need be. When I click on this, I can't show you what it looks like unless I go into my preview mode. So let me go into preview mode. And this is what students would see. And they scroll down, they don't see those little plus signs where they can add things, but they could watch it on YouTube or they can watch the embedded video. If I play the embedded video, it plays. But it tells me that subtitles and closed captioning is not available. Well, as an instructor, I need to make sure that it's available. I'm responsible for that. So let me click on YouTube. In YouTube, closed captioning is still unavailable. But what is available is the script of everything that is being played in that little video that I had set up for students. So this little video, they can at least access the script. Now I am still in preview mode. If I scroll down, my next section is project examples. And I show all the different projects that I'm going to do with the students just so they have a preview and they know what they're getting into with this class. When I click on an image, it gives me a nice big image and I could navigate to the left or to the right. But there is no text that tells me what it is. So let me close this up and let me get out of the preview mode. I'm back in my building mode. When I go here and I click on these little gears, it does tell me that I have text there. Once again, I know I need to add some more. I'm thinking maybe if I add a caption, that might help. Here's my next project. Once again, some descriptive text. I know I need more. I know I need more. My other projects. Another thing that I use with accessibility guidelines are lists, lists with bullets or lists with numbers. Now this failed, and I'm not really sure why. It may be because it's italicized. I'm going to check to see if I unitalicize that, if it would change it in any way. And then another thing that they said we should check would be color. it needs to use sufficient color contrast, because without sufficient color contrast between font and background, people who are colorblind and low vision will not benefit from the information. So right now I'm thinking that this is still going to be easy to read because this is dark on light, and Adobe Express does have these accessibility built-in features already in the program. So what I'm going to do is, on my MacBook, I'm holding Option Command F5.
Accessibility shortcuts.
And I can
use the tab key to navigate and press space to toggle an option. Check.
Color filters. And it makes my screen black and white. I'm going to hit done. What I see right now is a black and white image. What you see right now is a colored image. If I looked at this tab, it tells me that Screencastify, which I am using, does not capture system level filters like black and white. It's because of how the program runs. And then it kind of gives me reasons why you right now cannot see what I see. So please just take my word for it that I have checked and it does look good. If I wanted to get back out of my black and white mode, I'm going to hold Command Option F5.
Accessibility shortcuts.
And I am removing the color filters.
Use the tab key to navigate.
And I'm going to turn that off. At the very end, I have an infographic, just a different way to present material to students, pictures, make it a little easier for some students to digest material because it kind of chunks it for them. One thing I tell my students is never to put yellow on white, because a second ago when I was in black and white mode, that was a little challenging for me. Yellow on white, never a good idea. Sometimes, and they did that here, is they put a black stroke around letters that are going to be too light to make it a little easier to read. So I went through some of the things that I did properly. Would be navigation, easy scrolling, video that's embedded, but I do need to make sure that I do have I do have the script with the video, but I should have some sub captions with that. I have headings in the proper sizing. I use lists. I have links, which I'm actually going to add another link here in case this link does not work. I checked color. I have color contrast pretty good, and images with text. Thank you for viewing. I can't wait to see what you guys are up to.